Hello, I'm Nancy Sutherland. This is another opportunity for us to sit across the table and improve and raise your selling acumen while making the sales call. This is sales coaching. Know that as you make your presentation, you will need to work towards strengthening the presentation. You might ask why. I would answer that selling excellence demands this due diligence and due care as a sales professional so that you deliver value to your audience. When one is in the sales call, it is best to use all measures to ensure retention and recall. If we are just honest with one another, even the best listeners forget what someone has said. This is just humanity. On the average, people immediately forget 50% of what they hear. After 48 hours, they have forgotten 75% of what they have heard. Thus, to compensate for this tendency, a salesperson should take due diligence and due care to combat against this human tendency. If we supplement our words with visualization, we improve recall to 50% by seeing and hearing concomitantly. Visualization includes supplementing your voice with something tangible and seen, including the visualization of you and how you affect your audience. Thus, vividly communicative presentations will leave a lasting impression in your buyer's mind, thereby making the purchase more probable. This can be done with a print visual aid, for instance. The selling visual aid will detail the product's feature benefits specific to the product usage or indication to a specific customer. You will use the visual aid to supplement your oral voice before the potential buyer while in the selling engagement. Typically, this will be a leave behind to serve as a reminder when you have left, serving the client to engage the literature again as his or her mind is prompted thinking of you or your product. Further, a more formal presentation of a tailored PowerPoint specific to the buyer in which you are standing before an audience of several, presenting or utilizing skillfully face-to-face across the buyer's desk on your iPad can make a strong, resonating statement of you and your product as well, and serves to strengthen your selling presentation. I further emphasize that you also contribute greatly to the vivid, communicative presentation with your visual image projected, your posture, your mannerisms, and how you personally conduct yourself. As I have lectured, extreme intentionality with your appearance is tantamount in the sales call and serves you by strengthening your selling words, by being dressed for selling success, and acting with value-increasing behaviors. Never underestimate your value in assuring that the potential buyer will remember product details given by an effective presenter both orally and visually. This will truly improve the active listening of your potential buyer and will serve all buying behavioral styles of your clients. It is possible that over time you will learn to have your potential buyers on the edge of their seat, highly engaged, because you are truly that engaging visually and conversationally. This is the selling excellence that we have been emphasizing. This is selling success. Similarly, as you use visual aids for strengthening, it is critical that you know the selling content of the visual aid impeccably. You must know your product, as I have emphasized again and again, as selling excellence can only be achieved with keen product knowledge. Likewise, know that the visual aids such as a brochure or a PowerPoint presentation are distinct products in themselves. Thus, to effectively ensure a vivid, communicative presentation, you must know the visual aid that you're using to ensure that you communicate extremely well. If you have not adequately learned the selling visual aids, you will fail miserably and obviously will not achieve the desired state of a highly vivid, communicative presentation, which will negate the intended reasoning for using the visual, which was to strengthen the selling presentation. In my personal experience in the field as sales trainer of medical and hospital representatives, I could discern immediately if the sales representative had adequately studied the content and understood the selling utility of a sales visual aid. Note as I wrote the day's evaluation of the sales representative, I deducted from this neglected work or statement of mediocrity or even less as follows. Our sales representatives were rated poor, satisfactory, good, superior, or excellent. I would ask you to pause this lecture to meditate and write these sales call evaluation categories with a further assessment of an evaluation of your work. Know that one must work to have a higher rating versus a lower rating for job preservation and sales success. My intent with my lectures has been to convey the realness of the role of a salesperson, indicating that fierce intentionality must be employed to be rated excellent. Further, know again that this learned selling content study is directly transferable to all work. In like manner, each sales quarter would typically have specific key targets to promote to increase business. Call activity positioning, promoting a distinct selling message. To obstetricians, the one-dose Cefitan Advantage as a preoperative antibiotic for C-section prophylaxis intended to mitigate postoperative infection would be an example of a specific key target selling message. This is one selling message of the IV antibiotic Cefitan, selling one product indication, asking for C-section preoperative usage. This is one sales quarter selling message for Cefitan targeted to obstetricians. Realize you would have the same level of work in all of your product responsibility and be held to all of their specific selling messages for that sales period. This means that there are distinct selling visual aids for all product responsibilities. As a sales representative, you must learn, study, and become competent with all of this quarter's selling visual aids and clinical studies pertinent to all product responsibilities. This took much investment of you to employ selling excellence, attributing to selling success. Further, know that you will typically be required in all sales calls to use supportive visual aids, as we have discussed. This action will strengthen the sales presentation, further affecting a greater uptake of product adoption for that selling indication or product usage. This act of strengthening the sales call cannot be done on the fly, but must have committed, dedicated study, as selling excellence depends upon this investment in you, increasing your personal value. It is only through you increasing your personal value proposition, through self-development consistently by learning all your visual aids, that you can ever become a polished sales representative. Many try to avoid the hard work of preparing for the call with ample study. A sales call made with a strengthening visual aid should be both orally and physically executed with excellence. The potential buyer can assess if you are fluent with the visual aid, both in product knowledge and familiarity with the tool itself. Further, strengthen your sales call by practicing the sales call much. Each actual sales call is yet another performance with a different buyer, worthy of an excellent performance before him or her. Utilize your time effectively. Make an investment habit by studying as you wait upon the sales call to capture down moments and be adequately prepared, as preparation strengthens the sales presentation in and of itself. You must know your selling content. Remember, practice makes a sales professional. Know that when you are discussing your product with your potential buyer, that basically you are on stage, so to speak. No play is ever applauded that has not had great numbers of dress rehearsals beforehand. Similarly, if utilizing a PowerPoint, Prepare well for this public speaking event, for a group presentation is speaking before an audience. Sales coaching should include preparing a sales representative for public speaking, including participating in organizations such as Toastmasters and at business after hours gatherings of a chamber of commerce or other networking opportunities. Public speaking training strengthens the sales presentation. Public speaking training truly transforms a salesperson from a novice to a professional. Engaging in networking opportunities will work to strengthen the sales presentation as well, as conversational ease is grown exponentially. Also, you must know the presentation well if you use a PowerPoint. Many a person has stood without proper preparation, proving detrimental to the value received from the audience. The point is distinctly that the preparation of a public speaking engagement always strengthens the presentation. This is value increasing behavior. Also know that if PowerPoints are not developed well, the sales presentation is harmed. Prepare your content. Practice your content, and know unequivocally your slide content as you utilize your PowerPoint, thereby strengthening your presentation with these value-increasing behaviors. You must further understand that in many sales calls, you will be overcoming the negative attitude toward a salesperson, inherently meaning not all words of a salesperson are believed because of past behaviors with prior salespeople, resulting in somewhat of a distrust to your words. Let's face it, many of salespersons have lied in their product claims to gain a sale only to bring discredit to the selling professional. Thus add support to your presentation to substantiate your sales presentation, because not all people will believe what you say. Coming from the perspective of pharmaceutical sales, this support or proof text of your claims or projections is typical and paramount for selling leverage and to effectively gain a share of the market. This industry is highly supported with clinical patient research and medical studies, such as double-blinded studies approved by the FDA, i.e. the Food and Drug Administration. In fact, a double-blind study is one in which neither the participants nor the experimenters know who is receiving a particular treatment. This procedure is utilized to prevent bias in research results. With ample, unbiased research corroborating your selling words, the potential physicians had greater confidence in your words as a sales professional, thereby mitigating any potential unethical salesperson that had preceded you. Clinical research works to strengthen the presentation in the pharmaceutical industry for the marketed pharmaceutical, as well as all members of that class marketed by other competing pharmaceutical houses. Thus, know that I work with much intentionality to affect the audience that I engage to deliver a vividly communicative presentation by strengthening the selling presentation of me with my lecture content, with thorough preparation, with my voice making it a desirable voice to listen, with my visual appearance properly attended, and by keeping my demonstrative visual mannerisms in check. This is a brand element of my personal branding. Be intentional. Brand yourself with brand elements that strengthen your sales call, whether given to one or before an audience. I do not want to blend in with the crowd or not be remembered. I desire to be heard, resulting in actions by those that hear my words said to them. I trust that you do as well. This content moves you in this direction. I am Nancy Sutherland. I'm honored to deliver this business content.